We continue our working day at Ukraine Crisis Media Center. Now the floor is given to Colonel Maksym Prauta, Ministry of Defense of Ukraine spokesperson on NATO-related issues. Good afternoon, dear friends. First of all, I would like to greet all of you with one of the biggest Christian holiday, Epiphany, and I would like to wish all Ukrainians, and first of all to our servicemen, good health and true grit. During the last 24 hours, the situation at the line of confrontation stabilized a little bit, but there were instances of ceasefire violations by the invaders. The enemy delivered precision shelling at the positions of Ukrainian armed forces with the use of mortars that are prohibited by the Minsk agreements. Now, about the situation in more detail. All recorded violations of agreements, and there were 2 of them, happened in the Lugansk sector. At about 9 p.m., the militants first carried out mortar shelling of our positions near Shesty town, launching 10 mines of 82 mm of caliber. And at the end of the day, at about midnight, the enemy used against Ukrainian positions that are near Lugansk village, 120 mm mortar, and launched 4 mines. The defenders of Ukraine didn't return fire in response to illegal provocations of Russian occupation forces. In enemy shelling, no Ukrainian serviceman was killed or wounded, but in the course of engineering works in the Donetsk sector, 1 serviceman was traumatized in action, who was promptly evacuated to military hospital, where he was provided with all necessary medical assistance, and his life is no longer under threat, and his state of health is assessed as satisfactory. According to information provided by main intelligence department of MOD, to prevent further decrease of trust of population of temporarily seized regions of Donbass, Russian occupation administration limits the opportunity of exit to controlled territory for people who work in so-called local government bodies and to those who work in budget sector, to medical workers and educational institutions workers. They had to sign the order of the commander of fake republics on prohibition of exit without special permits, and now those who refuse to sign face the reports that are sent to illegal law enforcement bodies, and this measures of occupation authorities bring dissatisfaction, and some people now got fired. And also, due to the shortage in financing for fake republics and local medical institutions, they place announcements about stop of free provision of medical services, and servicing of patients and even collaborants will be done only at their own expense. President of Ukraine, Petro Poroshenko, together with the Governor General of Canada, Julie Payette, visited Yavory firing ground in Lvivshina. Here, Ukrainian and Canadian servicemen undergo joint training, and this increases defense potential of Ukraine and improve cooperation of military units. Head of Ukrainian state thanked Canada for continuation of military training in the framework of Unifier operation, and decision of Canada to continue Unifier until 2019 will allow to improve and increase provide professional training for Ukrainian servicemen and to modernize our army.
These days, the trainers from the Canada's Royal Regiment are preparing to start the new stage of training for the next compact unit of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. And the Governor of Canada, Julie Payette, accented on the importance of cooperation in the sphere of security and defense with the Ukrainian counterpart. During visit to the International Center of Peacekeeping and Security of the National Academy of Land Forces after Petrosakhaidachny, the President of Ukraine presented state decoration to 20 servicemen who demonstrated bravery and dedication during the protection of the state sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine. The President Petro Poroshenko, during his working visit to the Lviv region, handed over 20 certificates of ownership for apartments to the anti-terroristic operation participants. In Odessa region, the meeting for 28 separate mechanized brigade was organized. They returned to their permanent dislocation place upon combat mission. And to finalize, tomorrow, we would like to announce that tomorrow on January 20th at 12 o'clock in the noon, the Central Palace of Officers of the Armed Forces of Ukraine at the address 30 Grushevskaya Street, city of Kiev, will host the solemn event in honor of the defenders of the Donetsk airport, the heroes, cyborgs, 242. The event organizers are initiative group headed by Irina Zubkova, sister of Cyborg, the hero of Ukraine, Senior Lieutenant Ivan Zubkov, whose name was assigned to the 90th Separate Mobile Battalion of the 81st Separate Air Assault Brigade. More information will be available at the official ATO ex-serviceman of the Ministry of Ukraine's site.